All right, welcome to the World Team League as we begin here at the bottom left. He's going to be our blue Zerg of Reynor.
And it's our very own red Protoss, Zoun.
Alrighty, so we begin this series with Alpha X leading with a 3-1 score. And if you guys are confused a little bit by it, well, World Team League has a bit of a unique setup, a different format compared to other tournaments where we have 3 sets of matches and each set has 2 games. So the first 2 set has been completed, and so we wound up with a 3-1, or we're currently right now in the 3-1 score with Alpha X leading, and Reynor and Zoun gonna go ahead and try to complete the last set here. Now, if Zoun does win a game, that will lead Alpha X to the win, because you need 4 wins to win the series. But Reynor has a chance to win both games and send it to an ace match in which they will play or both teams will select a player and they will play a best of 1 to determine who will ultimately win the series.
Oh man, can you imagine the pressure in a best of 1? At least with the series, like a best of 5 or more. You know, you have the reassurance that you're not going to lose immediately, but a best of 1, ooh, that's crazy.
Yeah, that's like in a basketball game. You like the score is tied, coming down to the timer, and you're given the shot. You're given the opportunity to make that shot. You either score or you miss, and you kind of disappoint everyone.
Yeah, definitely. But obviously, these are top tier players. I mean, you don't make it this far in your StarCraft career without being able to handle that kind of pressure. You know, I really respect them for being able to keep that mental under control.
Oh yeah, for sure.
All right, nothing too out of the ordinary just yet. Obviously, that pro blocking Reynor's natural base location. Reynor forced to take the 3rd base as his natural instead, and then Zoun going for a Stargate opener.
Yeah, it just seems like in these days, Stargate opener has been the default opening for Protoss versus Zerg. Well, actually, you know what? To be fair, it could also be the default build versus Terran. Although I do see some Protosses go for Twilight a little bit more often compared to the PvZ matchup. But yeah, PvZ is almost usually just a Stargate opening.
Now, recently I've been playing this really old school 3 Colossus opener into charge, which is like, you know, super old school. You go for a 1-1 timing. It's mostly against Terran, but at my level I can also play it against Zerg as well.
Wait, let's back up. Wait a minute.
Yeah.
You mean to tell me you're playing Protoss now?
oh right, yeah, I forgot to update you, Snoopy. I quit Zerg. I joined the dark side.
Oh wow!
No, I'm kidding. I'm just kidding. I like to play all 3 races, but that build really, you know, attracted me when I first read it, and I was like, hey, I could get used to off racing. It helps you build that stamina in terms of, you know, macro and that kind of stuff in ways that you're not used to. You know what I mean? So
right.
I like it a lot.
Man, you got my hopes high up there, because I was like, for a second I was like, yes, TeaDragon, he's come over to the dark side. He's playing Protoss. He's become my fellow Protoss.
Protoss, I love it. You know, I'll let you know when I reach Grandmaster with Protoss.
Lovely.
All right, I just want to note there was a cute little interaction earlier. Reynor sending out just a handful of lings, able to delay that 3rd Nexus by maybe 10-15 seconds. I like that move a lot.
Yeah, I mean, Reynor, one of those Zerg players that seems to, you know, get so much damage done with his lings compared to other Zergs. It almost reminds me of Life back in the day. I know his name might be a little bit taboo right now, but I mean, Life was one of those Zerg players that seemingly made their lings like, you know, just it feels like they were like upgraded a bit more or something, or they just came out the hatch.
Had a life buff.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
No, definitely. I mean, able to do so much work with just a handful, you know, that's efficiency.
Yep.
Now look at that queen positioning. The Oracle, it doesn't look like it has any kills, so the queen's able to block any sort of, you know, movement around the main as well as the third base location. And Zoun is going to be following up with a blink stalker timing. Now he does have quite a few sentries here. What do you think, Snoopy?
Yeah, it kind of smells like a kind of a mass sentry, mass stalker kind of a timing push that we sometimes do see protesters do against Zerg, where they would just move across the map. They have a lot of energy on their sentries, and they would just force field their opponent, kind of segment some of their army, and then use the stalkers to attack, and then just blink their injured stalkers into the back. And but you know, on this map, specifically on Hardwire, I feel like it's a little bit more difficult just because of the large surface area throughout the bases.
Right. Oh, look at that! Once again, Ling's able to get a little bit of damage done, forcing the cancel on the gateway. And of course, when you're going for a Twilight-based build, you need every gateway that you can get.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, about that surface area, what if the Zerg just goes for Ling Bane? Wouldn't that also just counter the Stalker Sentry type of army?
It will really depend on the force fields. Like if you're like MC, you know, God force field master level, then you can kind of actually, you know, kind of be safe with it. But if you're not the best at force fielding your opponent, then yeah, the Lings or the Banelings can get through and can hit your stalkers, and that will be terrible for Zoun.
I see. Well, look on the production tab. We do have a couple of disruptors coming up.
Ooh.
I like this a lot.
Yeah, that disruptor is one of those units that, for the large part, is pretty good against almost everything that Zerg has, except when the Zerg has Vipers, I would say.
Right, maybe that's why... Yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, maybe that's why Reynor went for a relatively quick hive. I think that he started the hive before he started his 5th base.
Yeah, that will definitely help. And yeah, it looks like he's also going Lurkers, it seems. So yeah, that could line up pretty well with the Lurker upgrade, if he wants to get that. But Zoun doing a really decent job just scouting with his hallucinated phoenixes. Even got the observer, that pervert observer. Just scouting everything that Reynor is going for.
Okay, I do like this, sort of poking in with the Blink Stalker and the Disruptor-based army. Of course, we do have an observer there, able to clear some creep. Oh man, those Korean voice lines really... they're kind of creaky. I don't know. Oh, I'm sorry, that was Chinese.
Alright, looks like we have a bunch of air tech coming away for Zoun. He recognizes that Reynor is going for some lurker tech. So what counts as lurkers? Well, mass carriers. But he's got to buy some time. He needs to build up to an optimal amount of carriers, because carriers in like low numbers are just really weak. But the more carriers you can build up, the more exponentially stronger they can get.
Yeah, definitely. I think that's why Reynor, just sort of, you know, being Reynor, having that 6th sense, is going for a Spire. Although it's not uncommon to get a sort of safety Spire as a Zerg in the later stages of the game.
Yeah. Looks like Zoun, once again, trying to kill off those creep tumors, trying to recess the creep as much as possible towards the Reynor side. But gotta give props to Reynor. He's doing really well on spreading the creep tumors through the left and right and center.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, that creep is already getting really close to the 4th base location. Speaking of which, the lurkers are already coming forward. Roach Ravager also engaging the static defense that is here. But the Ling Bane coming in from the left side, going to be able to prevent a lot of mining. And also, it looks like they might be chasing the probes, but the Blink Stalkers are going to try to deal with this Roach Lurker army. A couple of force fields is coming down, not quite able to find any sort of damage, but these Lings are being such a nuisance.
Yeah, they only, there's only 3 probes killed, but they forced the entire mineral line there on that 12 o'clock base to evacuate, to retreat, and so that's gonna kill the resource mining there for a bit. But yeah, Reynor doing a good job putting up the pressure, and really Zoun just didn't have a lot of answer for those lurkers. He's trying to desperately produce those carriers there, but will he have enough time?
Oh man, time is of the essence for Zoun right now. I mean, this Ling Bane is, coming forward once again, forcing the Blink Stalker army back and forcing the probes off the line as well. But at the 4th base, once again, the lurkers and the roaches are coming forward, preventing even more mining. So this is a critical moment in the game. We do see the first carrier coming out. Finally, the stalkers are going to try to deal with the roach lurker, but not in time for the 4th base to go down. And then, of course, the Lings decimating the probes over at the 3rd base. Look at that, over 30 probes going down. So Zoun needs to make something happen right now. He's definitely all in this situation.
Yeah, he's like almost like, Reynor's like almost double the amount of workers right now. Zoun doing a nice job with like Zealot Warp in there on the bottom right. We'll catch some drones, but like you said, 30 plus drones going down, or sorry, 30 plus probes going down for Zoun earlier on, and actually gonna try to get him some more here. Gonna force a recall.
Man, those Lings are just flying everywhere. I mean, this is exactly. Oh, was that a? I believe that was a hatch that just went down.
Yep. So a nice little kill there. But I think Zoun's gonna have to do a little bit more here, as Reynor once again gonna go ahead and attack both sides, the left and the right, and Zoun just can't catch a break.
Yeah, these lurkers are in such an aggressive position. You can see that. You can sort of feel how confident Reynor is, right? He doesn't actually have any corruptors with the lurkers, but he knows that he wants to kill that Nexus, so he will kill that Nexus.
Yeah, somehow, some way that Nexus wronged him in another life, and he's very, very consistent and persistent at trying to take it down. Nice, once again, nice little warp prism harass. But boy, the economy of Zoun looks so sad here.
Yeah, I mean, pretty much almost half of what Reynor has, and that's after the drone harass. Now, a few more drones are going down, I believe, at another base. So yeah, Zoun making the most of his warp prism. I feel like if you gave Zoun a few Lings, he might get a lot of work done as well. But these main forces of stalkers and carriers are going to move on forward. But look at that. Already we have a legion of corruptors. Nice force fields, preventing the ground army from joining the corruptors for just a little bit, delaying the full engagement out of Reynor. But look at that, already one carrier going down. Disruptors trying to do as much work as they can, but I don't know. Look at Zoun's supply. It just keeps on dropping.
Yeah. And also got to remember that the defender's advantage is in Reynor's advantage as well. It's more closer to his hatcheries here. All the carriers has been taken down. All that is left are these a bunch of stalkers, a few disruptors here, only 2, and then only 2 archons that are very low in shields here, and I think they're going to be targeted down here as the Ravagers get on top of the rest of the Protoss force. Going to push Zoun back, and I think this Zoun attack is going to go ahead and get shut down.
Yeah, that Immortal desperately trying to micro back, trying to, take some pot shots over on those Ravagers, and it will actually get a lot of work done. But the lurkers are reinforcing, and does Zoun have detection? I don't think he does. The last carrier finally goes down as the corruptors come in from behind. Like, where did they come from? A bunch of Lings are reinforcing. There's the Observer, but I don't think it's going to get there in time to save Zoun's army. He blinks back, but look at that. Reynor is leading by over 100 supply, and she's got a bank. GG is called. Reynor is going to take game number 1.
Alright, so the score is right now 3-2, which means that either Zoun can win this game and clinch it for Alpha X, or Reynor will get this second game and will force an ace match. And, so a lot riding on this game here.
Look at that, Reynor going for a pull first, not afraid to change it up a little when the match is on the line. I like this move a lot. You know, sometimes the other player might not expect something other than a macro game because they know the reputation of their player as a more macro-oriented player, and so they will use that to sort of mind game their opponent.
Yeah, and I love that he's doing it on this specific map because if Reynor decides to put on some pressure, he can kind of, if he wants to, mine that mineral patch in the rocks area and kind of go for a more of a straight line to his opponent's base. But again, that's assuming that he's gonna try to go for a big push. But it looks like for now he's only gonna make 6 links. He's just gonna put some very light pressure as he's also taking the gas, which is another indicator that he is not all in.
Yeah, both players are pretty aware of what's going on. I believe Zoun did also scout the... Wow, Zoun even sees the lings coming out, has the Zealot ready and producing out of the gateway already. So we should not expect anything crazy to happen in the early game. Absolute worst case for Zoun is somehow the 6 lings, you know, they kill a pylon or something and then it's pretty much game. But at this level, we shouldn't expect anything like that to happen. Zoun already pulled 3 additional probes off the line. Gonna start by killing those. The first couple lings do go down, 1 probe as well, but a Stalker comes out, so that should be the end of that.
Yep. And now looks like Reynor will go back into droning up, and I think that was 2 probes, right? 2 probes got sniped down, and now Zoun gonna go ahead and decide his tech, which I'm gonna say might be a Stargate, another Stargate. Oh, actually, never mind. Cast a Curse. Gonna be a Twilight Cancel.
Oh, I do like this. Twilight openings have become a little bit more common since that nerf, which obviously was somewhat disappointing to many people. They expected more drastic nerfs, but yeah, this Twilight is going to be interesting. Do you think that... Oh, I just noticed, does that Adept have a skin on it?
Might have, yeah.
Interesting. Anyway, speaking of Adepts, my money's going to be on Glaive for this Twilight opener, but we'll have to see.
You know what? I think you might be onto something, because... Oh wait, actually, another Cast a Curse here.
A DT Shrine, I like this a lot. Oh, very cute Adept Micro, sniping off 1 drone and shading into the main as well. I absolutely love that you can see the player cameras, you can see where each player is focused on in the moment.
Oh yeah, that's a great feature that has been recently added on, and kind of allows the viewers to know where the focus is for the players. And so far though, no focus on that DT Shrine, as there's no Overlord there to scout it. So Reynor's going to be in the dark for the time being.
Yeah, now this is really interesting. I don't know if it's just because I missed it, but I don't think that Zoun actually has a robotics facility, meaning he's going to be warping in the DTs at home and walking them across the map, it seems like.
You don't see that every day.
Right. I think that Zoun is trying to sort of, you know, put on the appearance of, hey, I'm taking a kind of late but also kind of normal third base, so pay attention to that and don't look at my DTs, something like that. Alright, a bunch of Lings are going to try and put pressure on this third base location. Of course, we do have the 3 Adepts and the Stalker ready to defend, and like I said, the 3 DTs have walked across the map. I don't think Reynor has vision just yet. Oh, that Spore Crawler is going to finish at a safe timing at the natural base. And look at this, the Lings able to find an opening, and oh, was that a kill? That was a kill on the Nexus.
Yeah. Oh man, he was so focused on the DT micro, he forgot to cancel.
Yeah, now granted, this DT split was really good, getting 9 drones so far and actually able to harass a little bit longer at the main base. So that's like not bad, but I don't know. Was that worth a third Nexus?
Yeah, kind of hard. I mean, the probe or the worker count is a relatively similar, but
Even.
there's no third Nexus, so Reynor still got to clean up their DTs, though. And that's going to be a bit annoying. Looks like he will finally be able to. Oh, actually, as I say that, I hear something swiping.
Zoun microing his heart out with that last DT. Nope, you can't catch me. You know, the Lings, they can see the shimmers, but they can't actually attack unless they have vision. I love that.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that DT, putting in some work. Finally, it's going to be taken care of. Oh, wow, that is a very dramatic. Yeah, that's so dramatic. You know, after a while, you get used to the StarCraft noises in your own language, but hearing them in another language pack is always entertaining.
Yeah. Oh, man.
Wow, look at that. Just relentless with the DTs. Honestly, I respect it. You know, you make the most of what tech you have. And this is sort of a delaying tactic for Zoun. He's making sure that he has enough time to get up to Blink Tech. You know, obviously he's seen all the roaches. He suspects what Reynor is going for. And he also wants to just, you know, buy himself some more time. That's always a good thing.
Yeah, you know, Zoun, he sees that there are not a lot of roaches. There is a decent amount, but not like a ton. So, I mean, the gas has to be going to somewhere, right? So he's like thinking maybe he's going for a Mutalisk, maybe. But I might just be overthinking it. He just might go for, I mean, he was maybe going for Blink either way. But this game has been a bit interesting, a bit weird. So it looks like both of them are just kind of adapting as the game goes on.
Alright, so this might be leading up to the first major engagement. The Lings are going to wrap around. Force Field's going on the other side, blocking the roaches from getting through. Blink is being used once again. Ravagers are going to bile down the first round, the second round of Force Fields as well. Sentries are going down. More Stalkers are reinforcing. This is a lot of Roach Ravager, but they will back off for now. The two Adepts from earlier are going to shade in and deal a little bit of damage, preventing a little bit of mining, which is obviously really good, forcing Reynor to pull back a little bit as well. But look at that, 28 Banelings on the production tab.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my gosh. Okay, this is this is a lot. Reynor, he's going for that sort of low economy, heavy Ling Bane style. I love it a lot. You know, you mix in a few Ravagers, a few Roaches, and all of a sudden you're maxed out before 10 minutes. You know, that kind of build. I love this.
Yeah, and even love it more because he knows he killed a lot of the sentries. There's no sentries here to force feed the Banelings out, and so Zoun's gonna have to blink micro against these Banelings. But even if he blinks away from it, those Banelings can hit the probes if he blinks away too much. And there we go. Oh,
Oh, okay. So the Banes do bust through those Stalkers, and they are gonna get 10 probes. Yeah, this is looking pretty close to game. I mean, Reynor is just, you know, barreling through with his Ling Bane Roach Ravager army. I mean, those Banelings are obviously able to deal bonus damage against structures as well. So, with the Stalkers still alive, it might not matter because that front line... Oh man, so many probes going down. That front line of pylon defense is also going to fall as well. More Lings are streaming on through, and this is getting pretty close to game. I think Reynor's done it. I think he's tied up the series.
yeah, looks like we are headed to the ace match to determine which team is going to go ahead and clinch this series. Will it be Kaiji Gaming or Alpha X? And we'll see who Kaiji Gaming and Alpha X chooses as their ace player. But this game is pretty much over here, but Zoun just, I guess, being very persistent, gonna do one last stand, hoping for some kind of miracle. But TeaDragon, I just don't see how he can get out of this hole that he's been that Reynor has forced him into.
Yeah, definitely. The only way that Zoun comes back is if Reynor makes a huge series of mistakes, but that is pretty much next to impossible. I mean, look at that. More Banelings are just gonna bust through that structure defense as well. Roach Ravager able to clean everything up, and Reynor is going to take the second game in this series.